All right, so the Dunning Kruger effect is a cognitive bias, and I interacted with this with Richard when I had a session with him a couple of days ago, and while we're discussing, he mentioned this, and it struck me as something that every RoyalQ member needs to really be open-minded to and understand. Okay, so it's called the Dunning Kruger effect. It's a cognitive bias that makes it hard for people to recognize their own lack of skill. And I'm going to connect this to what we experienced in RoyalQ since 2021 till now. And at your own time, I'm going to drop the links for the Dunning Kruger effect for you to read up, or just go to Google and search it up. You're going to see a lot, but let's just give it a quick summary here. You see, people generally believe that they are smarter and more capable than they are. All right. We have a scenario where people have low ability, but they do not understand, or they do not even recognize that they have that incompetence. And it's important for us to really appreciate that this is what we go through year in, year out in RoyalQ. In fact, every new member that you sign up needs to, watch this video so they can really become aware of their own, capabilities, and have enough cognitive appreciation to not overestimate their capabilities. So when a person activates RoyalQ, Bollinger Band, KDJ, they feel that that's all there is to trading. And they make maybe the first week they make 20%, they feel like, oh my God, this is all there is to trading. All right. So that is the Dunning Kruger effect playing out within the RoyalQ community, where people actually think that they are smarter and more capable than they are. All right. So we have people that come in, activate their RoyalQ. They have low ability, but they don't possess the skills needed to recognize their own incompetence. All right. The ability for a person to recognize his own incompetence fast is what we're trying to point people to here. People who can't do that are going through the Dunning Kruger effect. And it will take floating loss to help them to appreciate that, okay, I agree, I don't think it's working for me. So that is something that we want people to really begin to wake up. The moment you activate your bot, understand that you are incompetent when it comes to trading, unless you've been a skilled trader in the past. So the basic idea behind this concept is you don't know something, and you also don't know that, you don't have the ability to recognize that you don't know it. It's really a funny thing. And there are very simple examples to explain this. Imagine somebody cracking a joke, and he's cracking a joke, he thinks he's a comedian, but he's not funny. And he doesn't know he's not funny. But he keeps thinking people are trying to laugh, okay, forcing themselves to laugh, but he doesn't understand that he is overestimating his own capabilities. We also see this happen always when kids write an exam. I remember those days where we used to write tests for jobs and all that, trying to look for employment. Now, some exams will come out of it, and a lot of people around you will be saying, oh, this was the number to this question, this is the answer to this question, this is the answer to this question 5, question 10. They're just saying the answer with confidence. And inside you're like, that's not the answer I wrote, and I'm certified in this field. But that's not the answer I wrote, and you're not making noise, you're just keeping quiet, because the vast majority who are obviously incompetent, don't even recognize their own incompetence. That is the Dunning Kruger effect. And I mean, when I discussed with Richard and he mentioned this concept, it really came to me as something that every activated RoyalQ member needs to understand. That unless you have been open to training and trading for years, you will be incompetent. And the earlier you discover that you are incompetent, the better for you. All right. So people who aren't good at something have a hard time recognizing the skills in others, the competence in others. They feel that they are competent. All right. That's why they will consistently view themselves as better, more capable. They will ignore what their sponsors are saying. They feel they've got it all wrapped up because they watched a TGS video with Bullinger Band and KDJ. So incompetent people tend to overestimate their skills and they fail to recognize the genuine skill and expertise of other people. They even fail to recognize their own mistakes and their lack of skill. And we don't want this to be anybody in our teams. And that is why we're doing this short video. This is being recorded. We want people to understand that once you get started with RoyalQ, just see yourself as incompetent. And when you watch the first video, Bullinger Band KDJ, don't quickly feel, oh, now you made your first $1, your first $10, your first $100. That's all there is to it. You know everything. You will not attend webinars. For example, we called this meeting several hours ago, and a lot of people, feel, oh, what are we going to hear again? It's not the same thing we've heard before. And people keep feeling that they are competent while there is massive incompetence. That is the Dunning Kruger effect. Now, graphically, this is the graphical description of the whole idea. So this vertical side is confidence, right? The higher it goes, the more confident you are. Now, the horizontal side is knowledge. The further it goes, the more knowledgeable you are. Now, between here and here, a person has started RoyalQ. All right. He has activated his bot. He has the least knowledge. Now, this graph is a standard graph based on research. All right. So we're just trying to apply it to our own structure in RoyalQ. I mean, we have people who just started, they don't have the knowledge or they have limited knowledge, but they are so enthusiastic. Right. So their confidence level is very high, even with very little knowledge. And this is what we call, this peak of enthusiasm is what we call mountain stupid. All right. You're actually a stupid trader. Right. You are actually a stupid bot operator, but you just don't know it yet. You forget to import your bot strategy settings. You don't know the difference between one shot and cycle modes. And you don't know the risks of both. You don't know what the default martingale is. All right, but you're so excited. People are making money. You jump in here. This is what happened to us in 2021. In 2021, we were at the peak of Mountain Stupid. Every member of RoyalQ was at the peak of Mountain Stupid. Yeah, we were at the peak of enthusiasm. We're activating and registering the whole world. The energy team grew to almost 5,000 members back then, but we were at the peak of Mount Stupid, every one of us. We just had confidence that we saw something real, but the vast majority just stayed with that knowledge. And when you realize that you're trying to make this work and it's not working, you find yourself in the valley of despair. All right. So from enthusiasm, when you started in your first 1 month, you said, I'm going to make money. This is the safest blockchain opportunity. People are making money now. You might confuse the team income, network marketing income to trading income. Get so excited. The next thing after enthusiasm is despair. You sleep in the valley of despair. Some people never move beyond the valley of despair. They just told themselves, hey, this is not working. It must be a scam. My money is in the dip. They're telling me to buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. No. My $10,000 has turned to $1,000. I'm done. I'll take my loss. I'm done. This is not it. This is not what I signed up for. This is not what I was enthusiastic about. But the person doesn't understand that all you need to know is you've been ignorant and incompetent in operating the bot and understand the market. And you just need more knowledge. So after the valley of despair, let me tell you the truth, in the energy team, lots of the members, they just collapsed from there. All right. So we all went through the valley of despair. We all, like I tell you in my structure, my V4s are not active. All right. My V4s, there's just one that shows up once in a while, but the remaining two, they're not active. They're cashing out in the background. They're making money, but they're not active. All right. So my goal is to, create new V4s. All right. But everybody who's going to attain V6 must go through the peak of enthusiasm, the valley of despair. And I want every member to watch this video. Anybody you activate, this is going to be one of the first videos you're going to give to them. Tell them this is what you're going to expect. You need to just gather some knowledge. All right? Just gather some knowledge. The more knowledge you have, you now come to enlightenment, the slope of enlightenment. Now, this is the slope of enlightenment. Oh my God. So because I was in cycle, I was cycling until the market suddenly dipped. Do you know what we used to do those days in 2021? Because we're in the bulls season, and some people today are also making that mistake, right? People will take $100, put $10 into 10 coins. They're trading 10 coins with $100. Yes, when the market is pumping, you're going to love it. But when the market decides to dip, you're going to be in massive floating loss without hope. So a lot of people made that mistake. People with $1,000 were trading 50 coins. And some people are making that mistake today. But, we've been here since 2021, and everybody will go through the valley of despair. All right. You just keep doing what works for you. But the earlier you learn from people's mistakes, the better. So I'm going to ask you later to tell me how you felt at this point. I'm going to come for you in a moment. Then, well, let me complete the slides explanation. When you keep learning, you now begin to understand the bot. And maybe you do the goodbye to floating loss training, or you just go for any training anywhere with anyone that you believe can help you. You also make use of the free trainings that we have on the YouTube channel. You're going to open your minds to what is possible. You move from the slope of enlightenment and get to the plateau of sustainability. The plateau of sustainability is where many of us are right now. Okay? The plateau of sustainability is where many of us are right now. Many of us have gone through the valley of despair. I went through the valley of despair when I realized that all my V4s had abandoned the bots because they don't understand it. My V3s were saying they wanted to sell their accounts. Some of my V3s, they say we want to sell the accounts. And I couldn't understand why, because this was working, but the trading was not as efficient as we expected it to. But what some of us leaders in this team, most of us in this group right now, what we did was, okay, I think the gap is knowledge, and we narrowed the gap. We kept researching until today, we have a system that is sustainable. Everybody will go through this path. But what I'm just trying to point to you is that everybody you activate needs to watch this video, because they need to understand that if you don't get the required knowledge, you will end up in the valley of despair, and you will stay there for a long time. You will stay there for a long time. And from there, you could quit the business. So your job as a leader is to help people know that, hey, whatever you feel right now is the way we felt. All right? It's the way we felt. I went through the valley of despair where my team of 4,500 plus, going to 5,000, became just a team of 110 persons. All right? And then I realized that, oh my God, now this is a business model that I love. It's just knowledge. And we started to grow, and rebuild until we got to 400. And we'll keep rebuilding. All right? So we are now at the plateau of sustainability. We're still learning, but we are at a sustainable position. We have eliminated those long historical floating losses that take 6 months, 1 year. We've eliminated all of that based on knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dunning Kruger effect. This graph you see will happen to anyone who doesn't have the ability, who kind of overestimates their capability, but they're enthusiastic about the system. They go all in and they don't want to learn. The floating loss is going to make them stay a while in the valley of despair. This is another picture trying to describe the same thing, all right? So you have confidence here on the vertical scale. I mean, when a person immediately starts, he jumps up straight to the confidence level. Whoa, I'm here, I'm going to be a blockchain millionaire. This is called the peak of Mount Stupid. You're actually a stupid trader. We were all stupid traders in 2021. My $14,000 turned to $1,000, yeah? It was crazy. MDX dealt with me. But you know what? We had to stay a while in the valley of despair. Now, while I was in the valley of despair, I just kept analyzing. Oh, the whole team believed in Ponzi. All right, we done different things, but some people preferred Ponzi. They didn't want to come back to RoyalQ. So, okay, that's fine. And I kept holding my webinars. I'm like, this valley of despair, I have to creep out of it. Fortunately, there were a couple of leaders, very few, V2s, V1s, that said, hey, I think we can keep going. And we just kept going. All right, we kept building, climbing the slope of enlightenment. This is the journey that the ignorant person who doesn't recognize his ignorance will have to go through. And then you get to the plateau of sustainability. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about right here. For those of us who have gone through this journey, we are right here. And this is why I tell people, we are just starting RoyalQ. But we're still growing in knowledge. We're still growing in knowledge. That's why we have the Goodbye to Floating Loss Basic. And then we have a little bit of advanced training where we unlock futures and a lot more interesting stuff. So we're still always going to learn. You're going to be a guru. There are people in this meeting room that can now be called gurus. What makes you a guru? You can analyze the charts, give a signal. Yeah, it might dip against you. 2-3 days is out. Sometimes an hour, the trade is out. 2 hours is out, sometimes super fast. What makes you do that? It's because you went through the valley of despair and did your work through the Dunning Kruger effect algorithm, and then you came to the plateau of sustainability. I'm going to take a couple of inputs on this in a moment, but the solution, how you resolve this Dunning Kruger scenario, is just by you need to keep learning. You need to keep practicing. You need to ask other people, right? How are my trades? How are my trades? How am I doing? Ask your upline. Are you seeing my trades? Tell me, what do I need to, you can ask people to help you. All right. Question what you know. You can question what you know. Okay. I keep hearing them saying support and resistance. What is it? I keep hearing them saying zone. What is this? What is this? No, but it used to be a line. Why are they saying zone? Question what you know. All right. This is how you can really go and quickly move through the Dunning Kruger cognitive bias and become someone who is on the plateau of sustainability. This is a very important concept that I decided to record it separately as part of our meetings. But I want to find out. I want to hear from 3 people. Did this happen to you in RoyalQ? How did you feel in the valley of despair? And how are you now? So if you have, I want to hear from you if you've gone through this route. Okay, Madam Adiola, you want to say something?
Yes. Good evening. Good evening, Coach. Good evening, everyone.
Awesome. Your voice is...
Yes, I'm much better. I'm much better now.
Okay.
When Richard had a short Zoom call with us a few days ago, and he mentioned this Dunning-Kruger effect thing, I sent a message to Badria and I said, this is me that they are describing. Because I have been, when I joined RoyalQ, I joined because I was told they will be posting signal. I had no idea about crypto. I'd never done it before, nothing, zero knowledge. And I wasn't ready to learn. because it wasn't something that I was interested in. So I thought, okay, put money, they will post signals, I will take the trade. I mean, it wasn't even like I knew how to take the trade. I didn't know anything about TradingView, nothing. But I went to my upline and, she set up my TradingView for me, and they will post signal, I will take the trade. They'll post signals, I'll take the trade. But I started noticing that these trades, I'm not getting the kind of profit that I thought I would get. And then I went into floating loss. At one point, my upline told me to put money in only one coin. And I put about $6,000 in Akru. And it went into floating loss. I've been in floating loss for almost a year. And it's still there. I put money in some other coins, some 22 other coins. Everything was in floating loss. So I just switched off margin calls and I left everything. At that point, all I was hearing was bull run, bull run. And I was just waiting for bull run to come, let everything pump, take some losses and come out of it and take a walk. I was done. But in one of my uplines WhatsApp group, Badria is also in that group. And I noticed that, they will post some things and she would respond, and she was saying some things that I thought, but I thought she didn't know anything about crypto trading and all of that. So I reached out to her, and she now said, she's just learning, Coach Namdi, blah, 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 and all of that. So I thought, okay, because I had been in that valley of despair for like a year and I didn't know what to do. My upline too didn't know so much. She knew, but I mean, not enough to, she would just be telling me Bolinga band is touching something is touching, and I'm wondering, what is this? So I reached out to Coach, and when I started as well, it wasn't making sense. We started with TradingView, started with goodbye to floating loss, started with support and resistance. I couldn't make any sense out of all of it. I couldn't. So I reached out to Badria again. Now, this thing is not making sense. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So she now said, in fact, she made fun of me. She said, maybe I should explain it to you in Yoruba. Maybe you will understand, So we had a Zoom call, and she explained to me. I had a better understanding of what the videos were saying then. So I continued. We did about 2 or 3 Zoom calls. Also when we did trend lines, I reached out to her again. I said, I'm not really understanding this thing. There's so many videos to watch. I had so many things going on about that time, family issues, my health. There was just so much going on. But, when I took time to sit and watch the videos as best as I could, I found myself on the slope of enlightenment. And I thought, okay, I may not be able to do it at the pace of the group that I am in, the batch 3, but I will take my time and make sure that I understand it. So I cannot say that I'm on the plateau of sustainability now, but I'm definitely on that slope of enlightenment. What I did yesterday, I also reached out to Engineer Fix, because the rate at which he was posting his assignment, he did 30, 35, 40. And I told my husband, what's wrong with this man? They said 30. This man is an efiko. He's making all of us look like we don't know anything. But then I now spoke to myself that instead of saying this, why don't you find out how he's doing it? So I reached out to him as well. And he too has been, twice he's tried to put me through. I'm a very slow learner. I learn better when I am in a class. So watching the videos for me was not very ideal, but I had to bring myself to the point of, okay, watch the videos. Even if you cannot catch up with the class, just be doing it at your pace, which is what I have been doing. And even yesterday, I went back and started from the very first video of support and resistance. And I heard something in that video, and I reached out to Coach that I'm hearing something about buy, sell, And it's the first time I'm really understanding it. Is this what this is? Is this what this is? And he explained it to me. So that is the route that I'm going to take now. Take my time, understand it, but definitely I'm on that slope of enlightenment, and I cannot wait to be on that plateau of sustainability.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And that is the path for everyone. In fact, because you and I in the same location, maybe as we go along, we could just get a couple of people in the same location, just have somewhere sit down and round up everything to make it faster for everyone. So thank you very much, Ma, for really homing that in. We can hear from one more person. Is there one more person who wants to describe their journey, especially the valley of despair? So people have dropped their RoyalQ accounts because of the value of despair. So people so I had an experience today. So maybe somebody in the value of despair told him that RoyalQ is all about floating losses. And the guy was having the wrong thoughts. All right. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We will all go through when you start RoyalQ. Every member should know this. And like I said again, it was my interaction with Richard where he pointed this out to me. And after we discussed it, I said, come on, this is what everybody in the team needs to know. There are people who have abandoned their V2 accounts, but because they're in the valley of despair. They just came in within 2-3 months and they can't survive the valley of despair. And then they drop out. In fact, they just stay there and they're done. But those who can focus on learning will get on the slope of enlightenment and will get to the point of sustainability. I can tell you that we are all very close to the plateau of sustainability. So remember, if you are just activated, don't stay too long in the valley of despair. Save your time, begin to learn hard and fast from the beginning. Don't be stubborn about learning. Really give time to learning, because that will make you not even experience the valley of despair that much. Because you will not be operating with the Dunning Kruger effect, because you quickly understood that you are a stupid trader and you start going for knowledge, so eliminating the valley of despair. You can literally avoid being on Mount Stupid, avoid the valley of despair, and just go straight to the plateau of sustainability. All right, thank you very much, everyone who paid attention and who also shared and expressing themselves in this video. So please, for everybody you activate, get them to watch this. Very important.